That's because adoption without conversion is just delay. Assessing product market fit, we're just assessing, is there even an interest for this in the market? Welcome to Sidebar Chats, micro drops from the 360-degree marketing show with Anusha, Kannan. Instead of just thinking out loud to myself and forgetting it 5 minutes later, I figured I'd share it here. These are just quick thoughts I've been sitting with, sometimes sparked by work, sometimes by something I read or something I saw. Nothing fancy, just sharing and learning out loud with you. So let's get into this one. Today, I want to talk about how adoption looks great, but revenue is flat. For example, let's say everyone's showing off the activation numbers, usage charts, daily logins, user signups, but they say that the adoption looks strong. But when it's time to report revenue, there's absolute silence. There's crickets. That's because adoption without conversion is just delay. There is no money that's coming in. And the mistake that most go-to-market teams make is that they celebrate the early signals, the user sign up, the fact that they showed interest, which is great for startups who are just, assessing product market fit, who are just assessing, is there even an interest for this in the market? But I do think the further you go as a company, you've got to stop validating that. You've got to stop celebrating those moments. You can still celebrate the small wins, but you've got to stop saying that that's a win, right? Adoption always feels good in dashboard. It's always good to know that there's demand for your product in the market, but it doesn't mean the customer actually wants to pay for the product, right? It just means that they clicked around. It just means that often, that early product interaction is it's amazing, but it's still happening in a vacuum, right? It's like when you go to a new city and you don't have GPS and you don't have anyone telling you where to go, what places to go, visit, what movies to watch, or you don't even speak the language that they speak there. You don't know how to navigate in a city that you're completely new to, and you just feel like, I should have just stayed back home. I don't even know what I'm doing here, right? That's the same way a user will feel when there's no narrative guiding them, right? There's no bridge between what they are actually doing right now to what they could be doing with your product. Just because someone's showing interest does not mean they're ready to abandon their current workflow or current, practices to move to your product. And the only way to do that is to show them immediate value add. And in reality, that value is just never established. In most case scenarios, it's just not established. And when that happens, they just turn out quietly, and teams just call that, oh, it's a retention issue. They're just not retaining. And the deeper problem here is that most teams design onboarding for feature exposure, not for value realization, right? We show people what they can do, but we never or rarely show them why it matters or how it fits into their, daily day-to-day. So when revenue stays flat, it's either a blame game or everyone's just scrambling, trying to figure out what is going on. Marketing wants to change the messaging. Product wants to hide more features behind the paywall. Sales says that the leads are not qualified enough. And no one actually solves the actual problem, which is the mismatch between what you promised versus what you delivered. Your user never connected the adoption to the outcome. And if user does not know how your product changes their day-to-day lives, they will not adopt. And I can tell you as a user, so many times I have not seen a tool do what it promises to do, and I have turned out. And I've also seen a lot of people say that these are great tools out there, like really popular brands, but I don't use them because I don't see an immediate value add. I'm not going to pay for that. And this is not a product problem. This is a go-to-market problem. If go-to-market does not own the transition between curiosity and conviction, we're just going to keep launching more and more campaigns and never actually see conversion. Also, if you're reporting separate adoption from ARR, you're really not going to call it growth. You're not supposed to be calling it growth because it's just surface level engagement. It's just surface level signal, just surface level engagement and interest. And adoption is a pit stop. Adoption is not the finish line, right? Until it becomes a shared truth within the company, revenue will just always keep lagging behind the story you're telling. Thank you for listening. Go to anushakanan.com/newsletter and get my newsletter, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.